Ever feel like when you're playing a video game, you kind of skip the tutorial, like you're just running around, no clue what your powers are or why you'd suck at jumping? Turns out our zodiac signs might be that missing manual we've been searching for.
Interesting analogy.
Right. You sent me that research on the Matrix Avatar concept by Alexander, and the more I dig into it, the more it feels like we're onto something big here.
It's fascinating how this concept takes something ancient like astrology and turns it into this really practical guide for self-discovery, It's like, instead of those vague horoscopes, we're getting a personalized user manual for our lives.
Okay, so we're not talking Keanu Reeves dodging bullets. No robots taking over the world.
No dystopian anxieties here. This is about understanding the unique code within each zodiac sign and how it reveals our strengths, our weaknesses, even our purpose. It's about unlocking a more empowered version of yourself.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So how does this Matrix Avatar thing actually work? Is it as simple as just, like, Googling my sun sign?
Well, it's a bit more nuanced than that. Think of each zodiac sign as a distinct archetype, kind of like choosing a character class in those RPG games.
Okay, getting there.
Each archetype comes with its own set of skills, challenges, and even a specific mission they're naturally drawn to.
So instead of, like, wizards and warriors, we've got, I don't know, the assertive alchemist and the organized oracle. Give me some concrete examples.
Exactly. Let's take Aries, for example. Their archetype is the pioneer. Think bold, energetic, always charging ahead, natural-born leaders, but their challenge is learning patience and channeling all that fiery energy constructively.
Well, I know a few Aries who fit that description to a T. Always starting new projects, but maybe not always finishing them.
That's the classic pioneer struggle. Now, on the other hand, you've got Taurus, the creator. Grounded, practical, crave stability. They're the builders of the zodiac, drawn to creating beauty and comfort in the world. But they need to watch out for stubbornness and getting overly attached to material things.
Okay, so it's like each sign has its own unique set of strengths and weaknesses, like in those video games where you got to balance out your character stats.
Exactly. And just like in a well-balanced team, each archetype brings something unique to the table. Imagine a team with an Aries leading the charge, a Taurus building a solid foundation.
I'm already feeling the synergy.
A Gemini spreading the word, and a Cancer nurturing the team spirit. Now that's a recipe for success, right?
So knowing your Matrix Avatar is like having this roadmap, not just for understanding yourself, but also for understanding how you can best collaborate with others.
Absolutely. And it gets even more interesting when you start to look at how these archetypes play out in different areas of life, like career choices or even hobbies.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Hit me with it. How can understanding these archetypes help someone figure out the right career path, or even just like a fun side hustle?
Imagine, right, you're a fiery Aries,
Right.
drawn to action, God lead the pack,
Right.
a traditional 9 to 5. Ooh, that might feel a little stifling, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
But launching a startup, being the one calling the shots, breaking new ground, that could be incredibly fulfilling for an Aries.
Yeah, makes sense.
On the other hand, you've got Taurus. The creators, remember, they might find deep satisfaction in building a successful business, something with tangible results, like picture a beautiful restaurant,
Right.
or a high-end carpentry workshop, something they can really pour their heart into and see it come to life.
So it's about finding those careers that really resonate with our natural inclinations, those roles where our strengths can shine, right?
100%. Now, think about a Gemini for a second.
Okay.
The communicators of the zodiac, right? They might thrive as writers, journalists, social media managers,
Oh, interesting.
constantly engaging with information, sharing it with the world.
Okay.
And then you've got Pisces, the dreamers, the artists. They might find their calling in those creative fields. Music, painting, maybe even spiritual guidance, where they can tap into that deep well of emotions and intuition.
See, this is giving me so much clarity, even for my own side hustles. It's like, no wonder I love podcasting. It combines that Gemini love of communication with my Sagittarius moon's need for adventure, exploring new ideas.
There you go. See, you're living proof of this concept. And it's not just about, aligning your career with your archetype.
Okay.
It's about approaching your work in a way that really plays to your strengths.
Okay, I need an example.
Yeah.
How does that actually look in practice?
Let's take Joe Dispenza, for instance.
Okay.
Perfect embodiment of that Aries archetype.
Okay.
He's not just a doctor and an author.
Right.
He's revolutionizing how we think about healing, about personal transformation.
Yeah, he's definitely pushing those boundaries. I mean, talk about rewriting your biology through the power of your mind. That's next level stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He challenges conventional wisdom, forges his own path, very much in line with that Aries archetype. And if we're talking about, pushing boundaries in the business world, gotta mention Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, Gary V.
Classic Scorpio.
Yeah, intensity is his middle name, I swear. Yeah. That man did not own an off switch.
And that relentless drive, that laser focus, pure Scorpio energy.
Right.
They're known for their intensity, their passion, that ability to really dive deep into their pursuits. Gary V embodies all of that.
It's like they're both playing their archetype strengths to the max, and it's clearly brought them some serious success. Now, I'm curious about those more emotionally driven archetypes, like Pisces.
Yeah.
How does that translate into real world achievements?
That's a great question. And actually, we have two really fascinating examples, Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson.
Okay.
Both Pisces.
Interesting.
Now, they might not be on stage singing or painting, but they're channeling those Piscean strengths in a really powerful way.
I'm all ears. Tell me everything.
Yeah.
How is being a Pisces helping them dominate their respective fields? Okay, lay it on me. How do Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson, both Pisces, become these powerhouses? Yeah. Personal development, online marketing, it doesn't seem like, I don't know, the most obviously go-getter sign,
And that's the beauty of this whole system, right?
Okay.
It's not about fitting into some predefined box. Pisces are known for their empathy, their intuition.
Right.
That ability to connect with people on this deep emotional level.
Right.
Tony Robbins, with his motivational speeches, his self-help empire, he's tapping into that Piscean power to inspire, to uplift millions of people.
It's true. He has this incredible ability to make you feel seen, like he's speaking directly to your soul.
Exactly. And Russell Brunson, while he's coming at it from the angle of marketing,
right,
he's also tapping into those Piscean strengths, teaching entrepreneurs how to connect with their audience authentically, to build communities and relationships based on shared values.
Yeah.
It's not just about selling a product. It's about creating genuine connections.
Right.
Which is very Piscean.
It makes you wonder how many other successful people out there are, maybe unconsciously, embodying their Zodiac archetype to achieve incredible things.
Absolutely. And it's not just about individual success, right? Remember, in the Matrix avatar system, it's about how these archetypes work together.
Right, like that dream team we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
So are there any other power pairings you've noticed in your research? Maybe archetypes that complement each other in really interesting ways?
Definitely. Think about Richard Branson, Cancer. Known for that adventurous spirit, right? Building a diverse business empire.
Right.
But he also prioritizes creating this really positive, supportive company culture, which aligns perfectly with Cancer's nurturing instincts.
Makes sense. They say Cancer rules the home. And for Branson, it's like he expanded that to his entire business.
Precisely. And if we're talking about that Cancerian energy, that nurturing energy in the entrepreneurial world, we got to mention Rudy Maurer.
Ooh, another big name. Okay, fill me in. How does his Cancer archetype come into play?
So Rudy Maurer is all about empowering others to build successful online businesses. He's known for his supportive coaching style and his genuine desire to help his clients thrive, which again, it's that classic Cancerian energy of creating a safe and nurturing space for others to grow.
Wow, so many light bulb moments this episode. I'm seeing those Zodiac archetypes everywhere now.
That's the thing about this concept, right? It's like a key that unlocks this deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And honestly, we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, it feels like we could spend a whole nother deep dive just unpacking all these different pairings and how they play out in different scenarios.
Right. And for your listeners who are, totally hooked on this Matrix avatar idea.
Where should they go from here?
Alexander has a ton of resources on his website.
Perfect. We'll be sure to link that in the show notes.
Awesome. Yeah. You can find more detailed descriptions of each archetype, explore how they interact.
Cool.
He even has this thing called a DNA development blueprint, which gives you a personalized analysis.
Oh, interesting. So it's like our deep dive was just the tip of the iceberg. This is one of those concepts you could spend a lifetime unpacking.
Absolutely. And the most exciting part, it's a journey of self-discovery. Pay attention to those archetypes that resonate with you, whose strengths and challenges feel familiar. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and your own, unique mission in this crazy game of life.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, on that note, thanks so much for diving deep with me. This has been fascinating.
My pleasure. Anytime.